Welcome to today's Clash of Clans video. We're going to be focusing on the Queen charge. What exactly is it? How exactly can you do it? What objectives are you trying to get? And what are the best tips and tricks to make this work in order to help you get the 3 stars? Let's get into it. What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, the Queen charge. How exactly do you do it? Well, what you are trying to achieve with the Queen charge is to take out some key objectives. It is a kill squad in essence. So, the way that you will do it is set up the funnel first so that you can control exactly where your queen will go. Now, you will be using healers on your queen. 4 to 5 is the ideal number. Most of the time you will be bringing 4 healers and using coconut loons, sending them in front of the queen in order to test for any black air bombs. So in this one, what you can see is that we briefly set up a funnel down to the left of the base, and we've also done that over on the right hand side of the base so that the queen can be controlled into the base itself. Now, once you've set up that funnel, that can be done in a number of ways. You might use the queen herself in order to look at her pathing. You might use the king, as we did on this one. That's a very common method. Press the king round the outside of the base, or you might use a couple of troops themselves. Once you've done that and you can control the queen into the base, it's really selecting where you're sending her in, if it's at all possible, and what you want to try and achieve. Now, in this first attack, and you will see this in the attacks we will show you, the enemy queen will be something that you massively want to look for. You might also see that we took out the enemy CC as well. So as we charged in, we've actually taken apart a section of the base, and within that was them key objectives. We managed to get the multi-inferno there as well, and that allows us to then send the Lalo round the other section of the base. Now, it's not that you have to always use Lalo. The Queen charge, like we said, is basically just a kill squad in essence, and any kill squad can set up any attack. It really depends on the base in terms of how you want to take down the rest of it, but that's not necessarily what we're going to focus on in this video. So again, you might set up the Queen charge in order to then set up your Lalo. Hog Riders, Miners is very common, but we'll focus on the Queen charge today. All of the attacks you will see are at Town Hall 10, but we will try and give you some overlapping tips for Town Hall 11 and 12 primarily. Town Hall 9 should be relatively straightforward from what we are talking about, and all of the attacks you see here are by crunch time. Again, if you ever want to join any of the clans I cover, you can check my Discord. All of the information is there. So getting into this one then, we've already set the queen in here, and we're basically going to send her along and into the base here. So again, the king is controlling the pathing on this side. In comes the healers. We're trying to make sure the healers are out of range of this air defense here, and then it just means you're protecting them. We're also taking out the corners of the base here, so again, the queen is not drawn around the base, she's drawn into the base. So the healers were put in before the air defense was taken down, but it depends on how you're coming at that air defense. If your healers are going to be vulnerable, you do want to take care there, guys. It might be that you put the healers in later, you put them loons in. It might be that you send the queen in from a different area of the base if you're going to be coming side on to an air defense. But again, you can see what we take out here is basically the CC. The queen is there as well. We're going to get the multi-inferno, and we've basically cut out this section of the base. So again, this loon on the right hand side was purely to test for bombs for the healers in case one of them goes down. The healers are worth quite a lot of troop space. You can send a loon in. You can see one of them did just go down. You can send a loon in which is only worth 5 troop capacity in order to try and protect that. And where we are trying to get here is that little bit further into the base, but we weren't able to control the wall wreckers, so the Lalo portion has to start. The queen, as you can see, is basically stalled on the wall, and you do have to be careful of time. That brings a very important point. The queen charge can very easily force you to run out of time if you're not careful on it. So Basically, it can be a slower style kill squad because your queen is the only troop necessarily taking anything out. You might have a couple of other troops in there sometimes, but it's probably only going to be your queen, so it can take a little while. I'd say probably a minute and a half is about the maximum you would be going with a queen charge. Again, it can vary. I've seen longer queen charges, but you've got to be thinking the longer your queen is just taking out buildings, she doesn't have enough time. You've got to have enough troops to finish off the base. Now what you can see is the queen did actually go down in this one, and it's not pivotal that you protect the queen right the way through. Now you do want to try and do that. I don't want you guys to get kind of mixed messages here. You want to try and protect your queen through as long as possible, but in essence she is used as part of that kill squad, and if you can get the value out of your queen and the healers, then it's worth it. So whilst you might want to try and protect her in order to help her get through the base, and we'll show you exactly how to do that in these next couple of replays, you might actually end up with her going down. And that's the same with the healers. Yes, you might lose a healer or two, but if the queen still gets the value, then that's all what's important. Again, look at this. We have the king sending the funnel, setting up the funnel to the left, and we have a couple of other troops setting up the funnel to the right. Where's the queen gonna go? Straight into the base. There's nowhere else for her to go. Now look at this huge section here. Enemy queen, 2 wizard towers, the multi-inferno, the CC troops. That is massive value, and the queen can get in there and very easily take it out. Again, note where the air defense are. The healers are basically well protected here. They are not going to get targeted by the air defense. Sweeper is pointing in the other direction here, and this one isn't going to affect our healers either. So it's kind of a prime area here to press the queen charge in from. So that's many of the things you will look for. A single target inferno is another thing we haven't quite came across in this video, but you will have to pay attention to. If a single inferno locks onto your queen, it doesn't matter how much the healers are healing your queen, she's going to go down. So you're going to need a free spell in order to reset the multi-inferno. You do have the queen's ability, but that's only one get out of jail card, if you will. You might need a couple of them depending on the base itself. Now, one thing we haven't touched upon, which is incredibly important, is the rage spells onto the healers. So we'll ensure we cover that in the next video, but just in the next replay, sorry. But just kind of thinking about Town Hall 11, kind of stepping it up a set, you might want to integrate the Eagle Artillery. That is a huge defense that can do major damage depending on what strategy you're using, so that might be something you want to incorporate. Again, it really just depends on what value you can get out of that, if you can protect the healers and if you can path the queen easily enough into the base. Remember, you can use the Wall Wrecker to help out if you want, you can use the Stone Slammer to help out if you want and open them walls, but you don't have to. It depends on how far you're trying to break the queen. Traditionally, we would just use wall breakers, but even a jump spell you'll see in the next replay can be used. However you need to get the queen into and through the base, that's exactly what you will do. So a lot of the time you might use wall breakers. If we quickly pause this, yeah, it's not what happens in this replay, but you could use wall breakers to open this initial compartment, and if you thought you would struggle to get this, then you just bang a jump spell on there and the queen has got access to this entire part of the base. So it's not always about one option being better than the other. It really is trying to just adapt it to the base. But again, I cannot stress the funnel enough, and you've got to think about these inside buildings as well. They can very easily draw the queen, so you do have to think about what buildings she's going to target. She is a ranged troop look, so she's got that little bit of distance in between the buildings that you need to consider. But just with the baby dragon taking out this side and then the king obviously at the top here, again, queen is going to come into the base. It's relatively simple stuff. In comes the jump spell, and actually, who was I talking about wall breakers? We can get access through the entire section there. What a perfectly placed jump spell. That is how amazing, like we said, some of the guys here at Crunch Time are. Beautiful stuff. Now again, just think about value here. Air defense. Air defense. Again, that's massive for a Lalo. The CC. The queen's already down. Multi-inferno. Not to mention the pathing we've created in the base. If you think the queen is going to basically get all of this, that is what you need to then path your Lalo around the base, because again, the balloons are only going to target defenses. So if you cut out an area of the base of defenses, it means you can then use any of them back-end troops, whether it's hogs, whether it's the Lalo. Obviously the miners is quite a good option as well, the queen charge miners. I hope that's answered a lot of the questions for the queen charge. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but if you do have any, please drop them down in the comments. I'll try my best to reply. And guys, with all of my videos, I do encourage kind of strategy discussions within the comments. So if you guys have questions, or you see someone asking a question that you know the answer to, please do try and share your strategy in there as well. We're all trying to help each other out. If you have enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like. It really does help out a lot. And if you are interested in subscribing to seeing all of my Clash of Clans videos, the button is right next to me there. But that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this one. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Until next time, peace out.